Is your small business prepared for a ransomware attack? Don't let cybercriminals hold your data hostage. Hello, I'm Dorrian Horsey, an attorney at Minc Law, the nation's leading law firm when it comes to cybersecurity and online reputation management. I help clients by providing legal guidance on cybersecurity measures, conducting cybersecurity audits, and developing comprehensive security policies to protect against cyber threats. Today, we'll be discussing how to safeguard your small business against ransomware attacks. I'm going to tell you what ransomware is, how it works, how it could impact your business, and how to deal with the consequences. Ransomware is a type of malicious software, also known as malware, that infects and locks down a victim's data and makes it encrypted so that they can't use it. Encryption is another way of saying that the data has been scrambled so that it can't be accessed unless you have an encryption key. So once the attacker has infected your system, they demand a ransom in order to regain access to your data. Ransomware attacks often begin with social engineering, which is essentially a way to manipulate and exploit human error to gain access to the victim's systems. Ransomware attacks can be launched through phishing emails, through malicious websites, and through exploiting vulnerabilities in software. So we've all seen the headlines about large companies who've been impacted by ransomware attacks and the data leaks and the cost of those attacks. But the truth is that anyone who has a computer connected to the internet is a potential target of a ransomware attack, and that includes small businesses. Experts say that over 80% of ransomware attacks are targeted towards small businesses with less than 1,000 employees. And among that number, over 30% are targeted toward businesses with less than 100 employees. So it's very important for small businesses to pay attention to protecting themselves from ransomware. There are a number of ransomware variants out there, and new threats are constantly emerging, but there are four that we see over and over. The first type is crypto ransomware. This involves an attacker encrypting data and demanding payment through cryptocurrency in order to restore access. Another type of ransomware is locker ransomware, in which an attacker locks the user out of their device completely and doesn't necessarily encrypt their files. A third type of ransomware is scareware. This type of ransomware attempts to scare the user into making payment. This can typically take place if a virus message pops up on the screen and says, hey, you need to update your antivirus software. Last but not least is leakware or doxware. This type of ransomware locks down or encrypts files, and then the attacker threatens to leak that data if the ransom is not paid. Ransomware as a service is essentially a criminal marketplace that allows attackers to buy and sell ransomware via the dark web. The buyers of the ransomware are called affiliates, and they're able to buy ransomware and then launch it to impact victims with very little technical knowledge. And this data may then be uploaded to data leak sites. These are places where ransomware threat actors go to brag about what they've done, to show the data that they've leaked, and also sometimes to sell it to the highest bidder. Ransomware attacks can impact businesses in many ways: financial, operational, reputational, and legal, as well as psychological consequences for owners and employees. The financial impacts of a ransomware attack can be essentially the loss of revenue due to downtime if the organization chooses to pay the ransom. Potential fines for noncompliance from regulatory bodies are all financial impacts of ransomware. Ransomware attacks also impact day-to-day operations. Operational paralysis can be the result if an organization does not have access to critical data. It can interrupt service delivery, communication, as well as the additional resources and time that are spent on recovery efforts. So reputational damage from a ransomware attack can be extensive. First and foremost, you can lose customer trust through the perception that you've inadequately protected data. Also damage to your brand, and essentially you could lose current and potential customers in the future. So ransomware attacks often start through social engineering, also known as human error. So that's, phishing emails or malicious links, but it can also spread through infected devices. It can spread through unsecured Wi-Fi networks, and it can also spread through software that hasn't been patched. So there are several best practices a business can implement, starting with a strong password policy, and also consider using a password manager to help your employees create strong passwords that they can easily access. Every organization should also apply the principle of least privilege, which means that an employee only has access to the information and data necessary to fulfill their job role. Email security is very important because that's the way that information comes into and goes out of organizations. And so an organization should implement spam filters, and other email protocols to make sure that you verify the identity of senders of emails that are coming into your organization. So none of the measures that we talk about really matter if employees aren't well trained. It's very important for employees to understand best practices for security and also how to interact with the internet in a safe manner. Regular backups ensure that data can be accessed without paying a ransom. You should keep multiple backup copies using both on-site and off-site storage, and also make sure that your backups are encrypted. Using strong security software is fundamental to protecting your business against ransomware attacks. Make sure that you're using antivirus software, strong firewalls, and update your software regularly. A cybersecurity audit is a focused opportunity for a business to sit down and take a look at what their vulnerabilities are so that they can improve. You don't know what you don't know until you take a look at it. It's important to remember that cybersecurity is an ongoing process, not a one-time effort. Stay informed about emerging threats and continuously update your security measures. Don't hesitate to seek professional help to ensure that your business is well protected. Protecting your small business from ransomware requires a combination of employee education, strong cybersecurity measures, secure data backups, and a well-crafted incident response plan. By implementing these strategies, you can significantly reduce your risk of falling victim to a ransomware attack and minimize the potential damage to your business. If you need guidance on strengthening your cybersecurity defenses or how to conduct a cybersecurity audit, Minc Law is here to help. Our experienced attorneys and cybersecurity experts can provide tailored solutions to safeguard your business and give you peace of mind in today's digital landscape. Don't wait until it's too late. Contact Minc Law today to schedule a consultation and take the first step toward protecting your small business from ransomware threats. You can reach us by calling the number on the screen, visiting our website minclaw.com and filling out a contact form, or chatting with a representative. I'm Dorrian Horsey. Thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next video. The different types of ransomware. Okay. If I'm talking and I'm looking at you, like, does that look weird to the camera? Like, what is she looking at?
Yes, the intro and the outro needs.
Okay, I'm gonna get this, Cassie.
Yeah.
This is the most basic question of the whole thing. Okay.